Hey everyone, my name's Taylor. I'm a developer with 10up, a WordPress agency, and this is my pitch for WordCamp Portland. The working title of my presentation is What the Bleep is My Developer Doing? An introduction to WordPress development for those who are currently relying on developers to do absolutely everything. I want to talk a bit about theme structure. So what is this template hierarchy and why does it matter? How is content mapped between WordPress content entry and the template hierarchy? Why do we even use templates? Why can't we just create pages? That sort of thing. Diving a little bit deeper into that, looking at some styles, the style sheets. They seem super easy to comprehend when you first look at them, but there are some definite gotchas with cascade and inheritance and those sorts of things. So talking a bit about style sheets so that people aren't totally afraid of them. Looking at HTML, angle brackets, divs, spans, sections, kind of the things that create the structure, lists, that sort of thing. And if we're in HTML, it stands to reason we're going to talk about some PHP. So what's this question mark doing here? Template tags. I want to talk a bit about actions and filters because that's how people interact with and extend WordPress and really do some amazing things, especially with plugins. It's super important. So there's a fair amount of this talk that I want to be kind of technical focused, actually showing some code up on a screen perhaps, or talking through it, so that people aren't afraid to look at it, right? It's not completely foreign. They at least have a starting place to investigate it and to try and understand. But I also want to talk about some more abstract stuff. So the developer mindset, for example. Developers aren't born developers. They learn it. And so they don't start talking about Boolean values. Their first word generally isn't is it truthy? So how did we come to get this? How is a developer created, right? How do you and it's about this mindset. It's you think in abstract, or you think in concrete logic, and you think in maximum and minimums, what and edge cases, that sort of thing. And I also want to talk about ways that you can irritate or piss off your developer, so that we can have the converse discussion on ways to not irritate and not piss off and make developers happy, right? So it'd be kind of a joke on interrupt them all the time because flow is not important, that sort of thing. Or here's some JavaScript that I want you to use, and I found it on Google, and you should just put it in. What? So ways to irritate developers. So let's talk a little bit about the format of what I'm thinking here. It's very flexible. We could do a traditional talk with slides. 20 to 40 minutes, something like that. We could have just a conversation, me and a microphone. We could do a panel discussion. We could do an Ask Me Anything type of deal. It could be a workshop, which means that the duration is also flexible. This could be anything from 5 minutes, in which case I'd probably have to pare down most of what I'm talking about, or it could go on for days. This really depends on where you want this sort of thing to be slotted in. The audience are going to be those folks that are the folks who interact with developers, who rely on them to make their websites happen. And this talk isn't designed to get them past that reliance. It's designed to kind of make those conversations better, or at least allow those folks who are hiring developers to kind of understand them a little bit better. So these would be your power users, other agencies, perhaps business development, that sort of thing. I'm not looking for a whole lot of technical skill. I don't see this being a developer talk, but familiarity with how WordPress works from a publishing perspective is probably going to be helpful so that people aren't completely lost. So how does this equal permanence, right? Any platform, and WordPress in particular, in fact, all software everywhere requires developers, and there aren't a whole lot of them. So it stands to reason that we need new developers to come on board. We need folks who are passionate about the platform itself to become interested in development. So although maybe they don't commit a whole bunch of core code, they at least understand why something might be going wrong, and have the requisite knowledge to submit, a track ticket down the line. We need to foster people coming on board as developers, and it's not something that we do very well as a developer community. We tend to look at someone's code and it's like, oh, that's crap code. Well, it is, but that's really not very helpful on getting new people in. And WordPress is uniquely positioned in that the barrier to entry is low, stated to be low. So we can bring people into the platform directly. We can bring people from non-developers to developers directly. Whereas other platforms, you might have to be a developer working on something else first before you could even approach the software. So, WordPress is uniquely positioned to do that, which means that we should.